Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. And today we're talking week 12 in the NFL. Only 2 more weeks in the regular season. So hopefully you're still listening. Hopefully you're still getting your lineup set to try to make the playoffs here. So we'll try to help you out. We got a few questions. It's definitely, I would say, dwindled down now at this point of the year as teams are out of it. And we'll try to do our best here, help you out. So let's just jump into this thing. And let's see, who do I got? First question up is from Jeremy, just asking who we should pick up at tight end for the week. Dallas Goedert, Mike Gesicki, Dalton Schultz. So I think that's pretty simple for me. It's Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's not even it's pretty simple. All right. So Logan asks, what should I do about Eckler? He says, I have James Conner at running back 2, and I have Chris Godwin at my flex. He said, should I play Eckler if he decides to come back? So Conner is playing Thursday, though. That's the problem. I think you have to play Conner. You just have to play Conner. You absolutely cannot screw around with that. And even if Eckler is back, I think I'd still just go Conner Godwin because it's first game back. If he were to play, I don't feel comfortable with it. Personally, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you have good enough players where I wouldn't mess around with it. Normally, if you didn't have those two and it wasn't Thanksgiving weekend and, the games are kind of a mess, I would probably wait and give Eckler the nod. I do think that he's a better play than Conner, but right now, when the times they play, I think you have to take the safe option. And yep. Conner's still a good option. Don't get me wrong. I just like Eckler a little bit better, but we don't know where exactly he's at.
Yeah, that's the thing with like this Thanksgiving week with 3 games on Thursday, it can throw you off. It really can. And if you're waiting around for a Sunday player, you really can't do it. I feel like you have to just take the safe route and play the Thursday guy, right? It's just, there's too much risk involved if you don't have another option. So play the guy that, you feel safe with. Next up, Whiskey on the Rocks. He says, should I blow my first waiver priority on DeAndre Swift? Yeah. Who cares about first waiver priority anymore? Use it. If you haven't, especially for DeAndre Swift, he should be back hopefully for Thanksgiving. But yeah, waste that. If you have anybody of value at all at this point of the year and you have the first waiver, you use it. That's the whole point of having it. I don't think it's going to get better than DeAndre Swift.
I don't know. Well, we always say that. I feel like there's always an injury about this week. But yeah, I think DeAndre Swift is definitely worth the option. I think he's very talented. You saw the last game he played in. He had 20-some points in standard. He does have that big playability. You might actually get to play him in the playoffs depending on what happens. So I think he's definitely worthwhile. He's not just some flyer. Let's see it. He's definitely shown that he can play if he is the guy and healthy.
All right, we got some start-sit questions here. Jacob asked, should I start Kenyon Drake or Devonta Parker? So Kenyon Drake, here we'll pull up some schedules here. What do we got going for Kenyon Drake?
He's going against New England.
At New England. And then looks like is Parker going against the Jets, I want to say. If I have that right. Yes, going against the Jets. So Parker against the Jets, Drake against the Patriots. This is actually kind of tough. With Parker, I don't trust Tua a lot. To be honest, he had a solid week last week. Some of that was coming from Fitzpatrick. The touchdown did come from Tua. But Drake against the Patriots, I'm going to go Drake, actually.
I would too. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Parker. I mean, obviously, it's more to do with the how they're playing right now than him, the talent wise. But he hasn't been spectacular this year. I don't think Drake is either. But at the same time, I have a lot more faith that Drake will have an opportunity at the end zone, or maybe he can rip off one big play.
All right, we have a trade question here from Max. He says, should I trade Brandon Ayuk for T. Higgins? Ayuk for Higgins.
Is this just for this year?
Just for let's consider it for the rest of this year.
If it's just this year, I stick with Ayuk. I like Higgins better, but I don't like the quarterback situation.
No, exactly. That's all it is. It's I don't want Ryan Finley throwing. I mean, it's not like San Francisco's not that much better right now. I'm not gonna go there, but I still think it is better than Ryan Finley. I don't honestly love either situation, but I like Ayuk a little better there. All right, what do we got up next? Dominic asked, who would you start this week, Travis Fulgham or Michael Pittman? And I'll go Pittman. I think Fulgham, I don't know. It's kind of gone downhill for him these last couple weeks. It's just like Jalen Reagor came back. And it's not like Rager's been tearing it up, but there went Travis Fulgham. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I agree. Pittman's on the uptrend. Fulgham's on the downtrend. The last 2 games, he's had 1 catch for 8 yards in each of them. That was after the bye, and it was against the Giants in Cleveland. Obviously, they went away from him. There's other mouths to feed, so whatever great run he had for 5 straight games obviously is not what they're planning to do from here on out. So I would take my risk the other way.
All right, Elvis asked, since Joe Burrow was out, do I drop T. Higgins or do I hold on to him and see what happens? I would not want to drop him, I would say, unless, there just isn't. I don't think, what are you going to find in the waivers right now? I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, that would be my thing. If you need, here's my thing. You're going towards the playoffs, I assume. In that league, he must not be, there's no keepers, I would assume either, because that wasn't in the question. Right. So assume it's not. I really do think T. Higgins has broken out, that he showed us a lot this year. And maybe I would be wrong, but if he's kind of at the end where it's like, oh, you have another wide receiver that would be slotted to go in before him, I would have no problem if you're saying, hey, I need a spot for another defense or a spot for a handcuff or something like that. If he's not going to play on your team, don't worry about it, because I don't think he has a ton of upside right now. I don't think he's going to win you the playoffs. Maybe he'll have a good game, but you're not going to put him in your lineup. So don't overthink that one. Do what is best for your team. I don't think that it matters if you have to drop T. Higgins.
All right, another question here from Steven. Who are you starting, Will Fuller or Amari Cooper this week?
Well, let me look at I was going to have a knee-jerk reaction, but Will Fuller all the way.
Detroit. He's going against Detroit. Yeah.
Well, it was going to be Will Fuller anyway, but I was like, as long as it's a middling defense or less, I would go Will Fuller.
I'm going to go Will Fuller too for that one. That's pretty simple for me.
I was like, oh, good. I get to see that.
Serge just came in with a question here. Good timing. Only put this thing up 2 minutes ago, so we just got to you. Time to trade away Kamara. So we actually talked about this when we did the Saints recap a little bit about how we were slightly concerned, I would say, with the fact that he didn't get any catches with Taysom Hill. But I do not believe this is the time to trade away Kamara, because what are you going to get? Unless you're getting, you're going to have to be getting Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry. What else are you going to want?
Yeah, you would have to have a gaping hole in your team that he was covering up, right? And you're going into the playoffs. And now you can actually get 2 players, right? If they're willing to give you James Robinson and some, spectacular wide receiver, I would give it actually, why don't we think about that right now? Because that would be the only way, right? If it's 1-for-1, you're not going to get that trade done. So say it is you are going to get James Robinson, which I think would be something along those lines that would be okay, and you're going to get I don't know.
I just don't know if the wide receiver. I would want way too much for Alvin Kamara, even with James Robinson.
What about an Adam Thielen? Adam Thielen, James Robinson, both are overachieving.
True. I would have to have like the Adam Thielen play would have to be a major upgrade for me at wide receiver to do that. I would look at it if it was a major upgrade. I don't know what that means. I would have to be down in the plan, like the I guess it's going to be like almost beyond a wide receiver, like a real wide receiver 3. It almost have to be for me like I'm playing.
Here, let's go.
CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, those kind of guys to do it.
So
honestly,
Terry McLaurin.
See, I love Terry McLaurin, but I don't think it's enough. I need more consistency. He's good, but it's not like he's great right now.
So you would keep you would
Kamara.
not trade.
No,
you would keep Kamara. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Juju?
What? I don't want Juju.
Okay. Would you take Thielen and James Robinson if
Or
Juju was your wide receiver number 2? And he was just, he just never came around.
See, I just don't think so. I don't think I do it.
Well, if you're not willing to do it for Juju, I have a feeling that
I just don't think so.
Doing that trade.
I don't think I am. I just don't think I am.
Okay.
I just don't think I can do it.
You're holding pat with Kamara.
I guess I could do it, but it's gonna take DK Metcalf or something. You know what I mean? Like
DK Metcalf and like a James Robinson.
Yeah, that's what it would take for me, and I don't know if anybody would do that. If they,
yeah. So say DK, but if is there another running back? Because I said James Robinson because he's the number 5. He's
pretty honestly, it might need to be more than James Robinson for me. I'm just telling you,
so you're not going to do it.
No, I'm just not there. I just can't do it. I know people are just it's going to take too much for me to be able to do that. I can't find the scenario. So I can't. I know it's probably I'm asking too much, but hey, Alvin Kamara has been good. I can't do it. All right, this is the final one I have. I think you might have a couple from YouTube. So this is my final one from Instagram today. This is from our buddy brother Coffee Bean. He has a couple questions here. He says, should I start Chase Claypool against the Ravens or Cooper Kupp? Or Chase Claypool against the Ravens, or you got Cooper Kupp, who is playing. I should get this stuff up here. So you got Cooper Kupp against San Francisco, or DJ Chark against Cleveland. So is it Claypool, Kupp, or Chark? I'm going to go Kupp. I'm going to go Cooper Kupp here. Yeah. Cooper Kupp for me.
Oof.
You're looking at Claypool, I feel.
I am. Kupp has been so up and down.
Yes, he had a good game last game. So.
He did. He had a very good game. But and actually, I mean, it's 2 out of 3 games where his yardage has been wonderful. He has just been not. I mean, he has 2 touchdowns the entire year. I just think he's so capped. And the question is, with Claypool, it is going to be. Look, he can catch a touchdown. It only takes 1 throw. Baltimore is pretty good. But there's a lot of mouths to feed. So do I think they're going to throw a couple touchdowns? I do, but I have no idea who they're going to go to. So I guess in this one, no, I still go Claypool. I agree. I think they're very, very close, Kupp and Claypool, but I think I go for the touchdown upside. And I just don't think that Kupp is going to have a 100-yard game, which is kind of what I would need in order to feel safe with him.
All right. Some more questions from Brother Coffee Bean. He says, what is Kalen Ballage's situation with the Eckler news? Well, I'll say, I think if Eckler's back, I don't think Ballage is going to go away because this was never the way it worked with the Chargers, right? When Eckler was there, Josh Kelly early on in the year was getting a bunch of carries. So I don't think Kalen Ballage is going to go away. I don't know. It'll affect him slightly, but it's not going to be as, I think, big of a deal as like he's just going to go away. I think he is that guy there now to be that other back to Eckler.
But what does that mean, though? So,
I think he still stays in the 20 ranks where I would have kept him now, between 20 and 30, to be honest.
Even with this, I mean, he doesn't get a lot of yards, even when he was the guy.
No, but I think he
won't catch any balls. Then I don't think he goes away completely. But do you see him having 10 carries in the game?
I think he'd get up to 15. Honestly,
you still think he'll get 15 touches?
I really do. I don't love the player to begin with, though, so I don't really. My opinion's not changing a lot. I was going to
say that was the other thing. What is he going to do with 10 to 15? 15, you can play him obviously.
But I'd basically probably still put him on a level of like, I'd consider him maybe slightly, maybe like right below like a Wayne Gallman after that. It's like that kind of player.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I can get behind that.
That's the player it is. It's that kind of he's better than Devin Singletary because Devin Singletary's trash. Oh, man, that was rough.
Twisting the knife, but that's absolutely true.
God. Okay, that was harsh. I'm sorry, Devin. That's harsh. All right, pick 2 running backs. Let's go for it doesn't say what I think for this week, though. 2 running backs. Kalen Ballage, Kenyon Drake, Leonard Fournette, David Montgomery. So I'll say David Montgomery's in for me this week out of those. And honestly, the next one, it would be between Ballage and Drake. I think I'd go Drake.
Yeah, I would go Drake for sure on that one.
Yeah, I would go Drake. Balaj still, he's interesting if Eckler doesn't play.
Yes, very important to say. We kind of bashed him, but that was if Eckler came back.
Yeah. Which tight end should he use for the fantasy playoffs? So this is looking just forward. Robert Tonyan, Jared Cook, Jonnu Smith. So I'm gonna go Jonnu Smith. He hasn't been playing like amazing, but I'll still go Jonnu Smith here over Tonyan and Cook. I just don't love Cook, so it's Jonnu Smith for me.
Yeah, I would agree. He's done enough, and Kenyon, he'll have his moments, but he definitely disappeared for a long stretch of time. And Jonnu, hey, he has the ability to get in the end zone. That's kind of what you're looking at. And if you look at his last 3 games, he hasn't caught a lot, but he's made the most of it. And they even try to rush him every once in a while. So his touchdowns are there right now. I can't believe it, but he's the number 2 tight end. Right. It just shows you how Travis Kelce is so far ahead of everyone else. So I would stick with Jonnu.
And then the final question from Brother Coffee Bean, he was just basically asking, will the Bucs defense have a chance to have a showcase performance against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs? And I'll just say I'm not going to bank on that. I saw what the Saints did to them a couple weeks ago. So maybe is there a chance? I'll say that. Is there a chance? Sure, there's a chance, but I don't think it's a great one. So
yeah, I was going to say, well, anytime that you get to play a team, if you show out, it would definitely be a strong statement heading into the playoffs, right?
Yep.
But if I look at the amount of points that they've given up in the past 5 games, I mean, they gave up 20 to Las Vegas, 23 to the Giants, 38 to New Orleans, 23 to Carolina, 27 to the Rams. A lot of those were not amazing offenses. So they're going to give up some points. So I wouldn't expect them to do anything crazy, especially with Mahomes and everything.
All right, so that's all the questions I had. I think you had a couple came through on YouTube possibly here.
Yeah, so we do have a couple more. So this one was from a few days ago, but I want to get to it anyway. This was when we were talking about dealing Allen. This one from Fongulio Stevens. Right. I've been debating dealing Allen for Jackson. So I searched some analysis. You answered my question right away. I'm considering Allen and Brandon Cooks for Jackson and Michael Thomas.
Well, God, if you can get that trade, still do it.
Yeah.
I bet you after the Michael Thomas performance, you might not be able to pull that off anymore. But if you, for some reason, could, do that. Yes. I mean, just in general, the whole Allen for Jackson thing, I'm still on board with that. I'm still going for that all day. Even straight up, I'd still do that. But try to get something else for it. But probably can't pull off the Thomas anymore. But I think Jackson's still the way to go for the playoffs.
All right. So our next question from Axon14. I've got Russ and Herbert as my QBs, looking to trade Herbert and Gronk for DK or Lockett. Which wide receiver would you pick, or should I keep what I have? So first of all, DK or Lockett, I think I know your answer.
Oh, yeah. I want DK.
Okay. So you go DK all day, or should he stay pat? His other wide receivers are Ridley, Robinson, A.J. Brown, and Jacoby.
No, do the deal. If you're trading, this isn't a 2 QB. If this isn't super flex or 2 QB, you don't need the 2 quarterbacks. And if anything, it gives you a headache. Honestly, if you can get a big time receiver or a backup quarterback for you in Gronk, do that all day long. Not even question. I mean, if that trade was even in front of me, man, I'd hit that accept button so quick.
All right, he has one more on this one. He has another trade option, and this one is A.J. Brown for Swift. His other running backs are Henry, Jones, and Eckler.
He would trade A.J. Brown, or he'd get A.J. Brown. What is he saying?
He would trade A.J. Brown for DeAndre Swift. And he has Henry, Jones, and Eckler right now.
Wonder what his other receivers are there then.
His other wide receivers are Ridley and Robinson. And Jacoby, right. Which, But if you make that trade, you would have DK then, right? So if you make that first trade.
If you make the first trade?
You have DK, Ridley, and Robinson, then you could trade.
Then you could do the other one.
I don't for Swift. I don't think I lose that trade, though.
I don't. Well, okay, honestly, if it wasn't for Swift's injury, or, it was a concussion, not playing last week. If it wasn't for Swift not playing, and he had continued what he did the week before, I'd feel great about it. I think I would do the trade if you do the other deal to get DK. If you do not have DK, I don't believe I do it. I think you hope Eckler comes back. I don't think I'd do it without having the other receiver.
Okay. Yeah. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
And I still like AJ Brown more than I like Swift. But I think if you have DK and you're not going to play one of them, you go for that added benefit.
Yep.
All right. And our final question, stick with me on this one. We are talking about defenses here. So he says, my league is competitive. This is from Pranesh Daniel. I currently have the Browns defense. In week 14, they play the Ravens, so bad matchup. I want to grab a second defense. I see 49ers, and they play Washington. He can also get the Panthers, who play the Broncos, or the Broncos, who play the Panthers, and he could get the Packers, who play Detroit. Which defense would you recommend out of those options, or is there another defense he should take a look at on the waivers?
Honestly, after what I just saw from Detroit, geez, I might want the Packers. I know by that point, though, they should have Galladay, they should have Swift. So it's not maybe the same offense. They should be better, right? So if that's the case, I think the Lions will be better. So I don't think I would want to go against them necessarily there. So who's playing the Broncos? What was that one?
The Panthers and Broncos are playing each other, and he can get.
I think I'd go Panthers actually.
Yeah, Broncos have been bad,
and the Panthers did just shut out Detroit. Broncos, Drew Lock's good for 4 picks sometimes. I think I might go Panthers. I think that's where I'd roll with that one.
I'm with you on that one. I for some reason, I'm not as down on Washington right now. I think Antonio Gibson has showed enough. Alex Smith is. I feel like he's.
Yeah, they got McLaurin.
I think I like your pick the best. And I think the thing you said about Detroit is the most important thing. What offense are they actually going to be putting out there when the Packers play them in week 14?
Yeah, hopefully it should be a healthy Swift and Galladay.
Yeah, it should be a lot different.
Yep.
So I 100% agree with you. I think that is a good defense to have. I think Panthers would be safe on that one.
Yep. So, all right, that's going to do it then for the mailbag for week 12. That's going to do it for us also this week with Thanksgiving this coming up. So we'll be back Sunday night to go over the week 12 games and then come back next week for one final regular season week. We're already to that point, which is crazy. So, all right, that'll do it. Talk to you guys next time.